Free hugs. Free hugs. Hi, I'm Carol C.C. Miller, and I'm the founder of Positive Focus. And recently I had the pleasure of sharing the power of hugs with a group, and I'd like to share it with you. Imagine you were 20 years old, you just lost your job, you've lost your girlfriend, and you live in a foreign country. You're heading back home to Australia, and you get off the plane, and there's no one there to greet you. You see other people getting hugs, but you stand alone. Feeling the need to be connected, you grab a piece of cardboard and you write free hugs on it. You stand there alone, vulnerable, and simply wanting to know that you matter to someone. That's where one man found himself in 2004. He took that very same sign and he stood out on a street and stood there for 15 minutes with his sign held high before his first hug. A woman came up to him and said she had just had her dog put down and desperately needed one. From that moment on, Juan continued to give hugs. He was kicked out of places and he was even arrested, but he knew the power of a hug. In 2006, he created a free hug video that he posted on YouTube. That video has been seen by over 77 million views, and it has inspired a world of huggers. It inspired me. In the January of 2008, after watching that video dozens of times, I decided to become a free hugger. I did not realize the hoops that I'd have to jump through either, and I picked Navy Pier. As soon as I picked it, I found out I'd have to sign a protest form and we would not be allowed inside. I forged ahead with a few brave friends, and we stood out there on that cold, snowy Chicago day and offered hugs to let people know they matter. There was not a lot of foot traffic, and many walked by and kind of looked at us oddly, like, what are you doing? And I felt vulnerable, but some people did get hugs, and I was hooked. I committed to doing hugs once a month in 2008, and I found a different location that had more foot traffic, and it grew. By the summer, I thought, what would it be like to have people hugging around the world on the same time? So I embarked on inviting people around the world on as many continents, countries, and U.S. states as I could think of. Geography is not my strong suit, and somebody immediately told me that there aren't that many people who live on Antarctica, and those that do are scientists, and they're not exactly the touchy-feely type. I continued on anyway. I emailed one man and invited him. I emailed like-minded organizations. I emailed global peace leaders. I emailed other free huggers on YouTube. That first free hug global event we had 5 continents sign up, 11 countries, and 15 U.S. states, and even Archbishop Desmond Tutu joined us. Since then, we've had 6 continents. I'm still waiting on Antarctica, 43 countries and 29 states, and Tutu joined us twice. I know the power of hugs, and I've been doing it since 2008. Each time I still get that little feeling of what will people think, but I do realize that hugs heighten celebrations and lessen sorrows. I'd like to share with you some of the powerful experiences I've had in hugs. I had an elderly woman walk up to me saying she had just lost her husband 2 weeks prior, and she missed his hugs. We wept as we hugged. Another gentleman emailed me after his hug experience. He said he had been sober for over a decade but was going through a hard time. That day, he left work and was heading to a bar, and he came across our hugs. He told me that he hugged each and every one of us and chose not to go to the bar. Another time, a group of busloads of Palestinians were dropped off in front of us for a demonstration. Many of them came and got hugs, and I whispered in their ear to be safe. The demonstration was mostly peaceful, and it was very powerful. I found myself at one point with my free hug sign standing in between 2 gentlemen, an older gentleman yelling at a young Palestinian man. I looked at the older gentleman and I said, "You need to calm down and be civil." He did. We'll often get police officers walking by our hugs, and rarely do they get hugs until the day of the Eric Garner protest. Hundreds of people walked by us saying, chanting, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Even though they were chanting, there was a deathly stillness in the air of sadness. As the protesters walked by, 3 police officers came through our line when it was over and got hugs from each of us, and they thanked us. You could see the hell in their eyes that they were going through because of some bad cops. It was powerful. Then there are the global experiences. I had 2 young girls email me apologizing for not being able to participate. They told me that they stood out in Mexico City for 90 minutes with their hug signs and did not get one hug. They said that their city is very dangerous and they felt that they did not accomplish their mission. I emailed them back and I said, mission accomplished, for every person who walked by you was uplifted by your presence. A group from Pakistan emailed me their pictures and they warned me that their hug pictures were not going to look like the regular hug pictures I was accustomed to. I opened them up and they were barely touching each other, like having their hand on their shoulder was a hug to them. And then the next year the pictures were more embracing. I've been having the pleasure of these hugs for so long, and yet I still get nervous when I get out there. And people will introduce me as, she's the hug lady I've told you about. And that used to bother me because I would hear and replay the snickers of people laughing as they walk by. And then I remember all the stories of the powerful experiences, how people were seen and felt that they mattered because of our hugs. And now I am proud to be that hugger. And now I can say, even when I'm standing out there and starting to feel a little small, I can stand proud and tall, well, tall for me, and say, I'm Carol C.C. Miller. I am a hugger. Would you like one? Go out there and hug somebody right now. Thank you.